country in the world, and it is worth fighting for. It is worth bleeding for, and if it takes it, it's worth dying for the greatest country that this world has ever seen.
The roof is on fire. The roof is on fire. We don't need no water. Nope, this is a Christian show. Anyway, what's going on, America? Welcome to not Hump Day, but
the whitest thing I've ever heard.
Trump Day. It is an amazing thing. Ladies and gentlemen, a plethora of picks came down yesterday, and if you are excited for the regime change that is happening and will take place in Washington, D.C., I want you to blow up the chat right now with American flags, fire emojis, set it off. You guys know that you guys can break the chat. I want to see it go nuts, absolutely insane. We've got so many things to talk about. We now officially have the Department of Government Efficiency, also known as DOGE. Pete Hegseth is now the SecDef. Just insanity. We're going to talk about everything. Crazy stuff.
Pete on the show.
I will have Pete on the show. It used to be Pete couldn't come on the show because there was a conflict with Fox News. That is nay more. Pete is a close personal friend of mine. We're going to talk about all this stuff. And is Dan Bongino going to be the director of the Secret Service? Rumors have been swirling, and then he set the internet ablaze today with a tweet. And I talked to Dan before the show, and I'm going to let you know what he had to say. Also, we have confirmation that FEMA, when we did our documentary, we talked about the fact that FEMA was avoiding houses that had Trump signs in their front yard, and now it is official that is true. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Before we do that, let's get business out of the way. You need to make sure you hit that like button, hit that share button. The more you do that, the more people see the truth. Also, wherever you're watching, Facebook, Instagram. No, they're not watching on Instagram. Instagram sucks. Facebook, X, YouTube, Rumble. Make sure to hit that share button far and wide so more people see the truth. But first, let's introduce everybody. I don't feel like doing it today. Mexican Tony is here.
Oh man, what a letdown! I was all pumped for you came out singing "The Roof Is on Fire" and you said, "Oh yeah, I don't feel like doing it." Here
Fine.
No.
The newest secretary of Hispanic engagement, not Mexican Cartel Tony.
No, it's too late. You're just doing it. No, it's too late. No. Morning, everybody. By the way.
All right, and of course, producer Royce is here.
What up?
Eminem. You always remind me of Eminem, boys. When you were
Yeah, with the Angel Studios hoodie. I love it.
Oh, that's cool.
right.
And of course, everybody's favorite redneck hot seat time.
I am putting myself up in light of recent events to be President Trump's official taste tester.
Like the old kings back in the day. Eat this, peasant, and see if they're trying to kill me.
I'm pretty sure the president actually does have some sort of taste tester. Like, I remember hearing a story
would be
that
shocked.
Obama would not eat without his taste tester eating it first.
Yeah, I would be shocked if they didn't. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, honestly, there's so much stuff to talk about and there's so many things to do. We're just going to go through the show. And as we go through the show, I think we've got some pretty good insights for you guys, some insider baseball, if you will. I think that there's going to be a lot more shocking, not shocking, just like that Joe Rogan video, like all that kind of picks, you know. I think that Pete Hegseth is not the last one that's going to set the world on fire. I really don't. I think it's going to be of epic proportions. But first, we got to tell you about our first sponsor of the day, and that is Angel Studios. Royce, did you wear that hoodie on purpose, or did it just happen that way?
I did actually.
Oh, okay. Royce with the placement. Everybody, we need you to go to angel.com/Graham Hope right now to support our friends over at Angel Studios. When you become a member of the Guild, you not only get instant access to every single thing that Angel Studios has ever made, you also get free tickets every time a new movie goes into the movie theater. And also you get the opportunity as a Guild member to be able to vote on what the next movies or shows are going to be that Angel Studio makes. It's almost like you, the people, have the power. And we love anything that promotes that. So invest in this company, invest in good, wholesome content, and honestly, good movies that don't suck. Go to angel.com/Graham Hope right now and become a member of the Guild today. That's angel.com/Graham Hope. Go right now. All right, let's talk about this. Ladies and gentlemen, just when you think we couldn't win anymore, yesterday it was announced that the Communist News Network, known as CNN, I think Trump should buy it and just call it TNN. But either way,
Yes.
Or Elon should buy it ENN. CNN will axe. I love this. Top stars. They should have stars in quotation marks. Stars in layoffs.
Asterisk.
That'll see hundreds fired as ratings continue to tank. The ratings aren't in the tank. Ladies and gentlemen, we have more people watching right now within the first 7 minutes of the show than Anderson Cooper has in total. CNN is a horrific organization, and they're laying everybody off. So I don't know what the plan is. I wouldn't be surprised if CNN is not around for much longer, because you can't lay off your top stars and then like rebuild. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the plan is here for CNN. The headquarters is in Atlanta, right? It's interesting. Yeah, but I think it's joyful news. Also, MSNBC is for sale, which I think is great. Nothing would make me happier than to see Rachel Maddow have to report to her new boss, Elon Musk. That would be the
Why do
greatest.
you assume that anytime something's for sale, Elon's going to buy it?
Because Elon just literally went up into the 300 billion mark. He's got money to spare.
You know what I found, though? All the list of names of people they said they were firing, Scott Jennings wasn't one of them.
Correct, because he's the only one drawing some attention right now.
Well, dude, you guys
That's
saw
true.
when the RNC and the DNC was going on Chris, what's his name? Chris Cuomo?
Chris Cuomo.
Cuomo. Yeah, as soon as he wasn't working for CNN anymore, he was actually doing some reporting.
Dude, okay, and again, Chris Cuomo now is like a semi-logical dude.
Exactly,
Now,
that's my point.
I don't agree with a lot of his points, but at least when he's talking, he's semi-rational. But I don't respect him because that proves that he sold his soul for the dollar at CNN. He didn't believe half the crap that he was talking about on CNN. He just did it because he was getting a paycheck to do so. Anderson Cooper, the best thing he's done was get drunk on New Year's Eve, and woo! That's the best thing he's done in 4 years.
He was on Channel 1. He was on Channel 1.
When we
were in high school.
I don't know, man. He looks like he has a superpower. Anderson Cooper, like his hair, like that's not natural. I feel like there's something. He looked like he got struck by electricity 30 years ago, and now he can like change the weather or something. There's something about him that just off. And no, it's not his sexuality. Before the chats start going crazy, it's not what I'm talking about.
That's where I was headed.
Everybody knows about it. There's just something wrong. I can't quite place it. Anyway, he doesn't like trains.
He does not.
We have conversations before the show goes live. And honestly, the closer we get to the show going live, the more ridiculous the conversations get.
Because we have to get it out.
Yeah.
Especially Todd.
Correct. And so we were talking about everybody backlash about Pete being the SecDef nominee. We'll talk about Pete in a minute, but I said, yeah, and Buttigieg, his only qualifications for Secretary of Transportation was he liked trains and he was gay. and it just started this. It started this whole thing.
So now we'll be asking people if they like trains if we think something.
Yeah. It's like The Rock in those old WE things. Do you like pie? Like kind of thing. And so now it'll be like, do you like train. Anyway, okay, sorry. Back to the point. Squirrel. Woo. Anyway, all right. So off of that, Biden had an odd moment yesterday, which makes me super pumped for when President Trump visits. He is in
Biden
fact
had an odd moment.
on
What?
the way. But this was an odd moment. Like, just play the clip, and I'll tell you what I think. Just play it. Go.
President Biden, do you think that you can get a hostage deal by the end of your term?
Think you can get hit in the head by a camera behind you? All right, that's it.
Okay.
Do you think you can have a hostage deal done soon? He was like, do you think you can get hit in the head by that camera behind you? I'm good with this. I actually thought that was a lucid moment. I thought that was old Joe coming out. Like, you think you can get knocked the crap out over there by that camera? Like, I thought it was good. I look, man, Joe Biden's never been happier.
Yep.
This crap
He is checked out from the presidency. He's just having fun. He's just old man having fun, Joe.
This crap is almost over, and he could not be happier about it. I think that him and Trump, we're going to have some videos. I think him and Trump are going to cut loose in front of everybody. I'm excited to see it. If you're pumped to see Trump and Biden together on live TV, give me, I don't know, give me a yes or a no or a thumbs up in the chat. I think it's going to be cinema is what I think.
I
Pure
hope that
cinema.
Trump brings him a MAGA hat.
Yes. He will. Oh, a dark
would be
MAGA.
amazing.
Dark MAGA.
Ooh. Well, Joe, you got. I can't do Trump. You got dark Brandon. So why not wear this dark MAGA?
We got your dark MAGA,
We
Joe.
got your
Because you're
dark
dark Brandon.
MAGA,
We got
Joe.
something better.
Dark.
It's fantastic.
I know who
Way
you
better.
voted for. He can't say it, but we're all thinking it. We all know. We all know who he
It's
voted
okay,
for.
Joe. We know, Joe. We know.
That's a good question for the audience. Do you think Joe Biden voted for Donald Trump? Comment yes or no in the chat.
Doesn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me
really,
either.
really believe that he did.
Joe Biden
I mean,
Red.
the way they did him dirty, man, I
go
wouldn't
vote.
be surprised at all, man.
Yeah. Well, here's the question. And this is something I generally don't know. If you're the president of the United States, the sitting president of the United States, do you have to go to your home to vote, like your home state to vote? Do you fill out an absentee ballot or do you vote in D.C. if you're the sitting president of the United States?
That's probably pretty easy to find out. But from our
Because technically you have now lived in D.C. for 4 years, right? So
Yeah.
True.
You
I
can
don't know what
claim
the
residency
threshold is there. But from my observation, we saw Joe Biden wear red to go vote. We saw
Yeah.
Joe Biden literally put on
No,
a
no,
MAGA
it wasn't
hat.
Jill
was
Jill
Jill.
Biden.
It was
Jill
Jill
Biden.
Biden.
Jill Biden.
That's what I
wore
said.
red.
I said Joe Biden.
Oh, I thought you
No,
said
I think-
Joe
yeah,
Biden.
I
I
think
was
you
like,
said
that
Joe.
would have been
Very close.
something. Why doesn't the president show up in that? Like, if
Hold on,
Donald
hold on,
Trump
hold on.
walked out, go ahead, finish what you said.
Joe Biden wore red. Joe Biden wore a MAGA hat. Darn it, I forgot the last one. I had
Graham
one more I
interrupted
was
you,
gonna
Roy.
say. Dang it, you messed me up, Graham.
My bad. I'm sorry. I just thought, like, if Trump showed up in like a American flag suit, everybody would lose their mind. I think that'd be the most epic thing ever. I think you should be required as the American president to wear, like, at least inside the coat, there's got to be the American flag or
Just
something.
pop it open.
Yeah.
I think that, okay, well, first off, the other thing was, and you saw Jill give Kamala the cold shoulder. Like, they
that wasn't
hate
cold.
Oh, yeah,
Kamala.
yeah.
That
They
was
hate,
the-
so which is pointing me towards, like, they may have voted for Trump or, like, the Green Party, something weird, Not Kamala is what I'm saying. But I do think that of all people, who the president of the United States votes for up and down the ballot should be public. Why not?
yeah, I think so.
If they're supposed to be leading our country, then they should maybe set the example for whoever, what they're voting for.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'll have to think on that one for a minute because, I mean, just because you're the president doesn't mean that, like, your basic right is gone, to privacy or whatever. Anyway, all right, moving on.
Basically, you're the president.
But I mean,
Your
like,
right to
like
privacy
like,
is gone.
No one has the right to know, like, what's going on in your bedroom as the president. Like,
We're not talking about. We're talking about the election.
Yeah.
I think it's in line with what should be public with the president. I think, but
Royce just really
it's up
wants
for
to know.
discussion.
He's fighting.
Yeah,
for it.
that's
He's
what
just-
this is. Royce just really wants
Yep.
to know who he voted for.
I just called
Royce,
him.
just ask him. Just flat out ask him.
I
Does
wish
everybody
they
not
kept.
wanna know?
I wish they kept records. I really do. Yeah. All right, we got to get into our next sponsor because we got a lot of things to talk about today. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to stop giving your money to communist devil organizations that hate you and hate your values. You need to check out our good friends at Patriot Mobile. You can go to patriotmobile.com/Graham today. Guess what? The promo code Graham. At this point, if you don't know how to spell Graham, I don't know how to help you because you're on the show. But either way, GRAHAM will get you a free month if you sign up today. Patriot Mobile has these amazing products like Patriot Mobile One, where they have dual towers, to where if you go AT&T ain't working, you can switch to Verizon networks. Verizon's not working, vice versa. They also have partnered with Unplugged to give you the Up phone, which is the most off the grid you can be whilst still being able to make cell phone calls. They are absolutely amazing. They're pro-Christian. They're pro-MAGA. They're pro-Trump. They're pro-America First. They're pro-military. What else do you need to know? Make the switch today. Go to patriotmobile.com/Graham. That's patriotmobile.com/Graham. Promo code Graham. All right. So now that Donald Trump has won the election, all of a sudden, a lot of these states are changing their tunes about this illegal immigration type stuff. It's more specifically, New York City Mayor Eric Adams is refusing to say that he will not work with Donald Trump in addressing the migrant crisis. I call it criminals, but migrant crisis. Here we go.
And as you communicate with President-elect Trump and have communicated with him, will you express concern about mass deportations in the city?
My concern is one concern, and we keep tinkering around the edges. We keep having this philosophical conversation about it. The voters communicated loudly and clearly. We have a broken immigration system. It needs to be fixed. That's the only conversation I want. It's broken. It needs to be fixed. And New York City was devastated by that broken system. 220,000 migrants and asylum seekers have made their way here. No financial assistance from the administration. I think it was about $200 and something million with billions of dollars we had to pay for. I don't want to see that happen again. I don't want what's taking place in Chicago and Denver, Los Angeles, Houston. I don't want to see it take place again. Let's fix our immigration system. Anything other than that, I'm not interested in that conversation. We have a broken system. I talked about this in 2022.
No, you
just
didn't.
as I talked about violence in 2021.
Bald liar.
And voters made this the top of their list. The top
Shocker.
of their list. When I was talking about it, everyone was being dismissive of me. And voters said, this is a problem. And if we don't have a conversation about fixing the system, everything else is just being philosophical and theoretical, and I'm just not going to engage in that. Let's fix the system.
Pause. So I got a lot of friends in New York. Go there often, and the cannoli king is on Mulberry Street in Little Italy in New York, and I always go there. And the cannoli king, he's out there. He's coming out there. He's hanging out with us. And he's telling us his stories. He's like, dude, these illegals are all over the freaking place. He said, I pulled my pistol out just the other day on the road. He's like, I've already been to jail. He used to work for the mafia or whatever. He's like, I've already been to jail. He's like, I've lived my life. You don't think I'll shoot you in the face right here if you think you're going to come over here and do this to my place? The people in New York have been screaming for forever that they're tired of it, they're sick of it. This dude has been anti-Trump, anti-everything until about 34 minutes after Trump won the election. That was it. But
well,
it's just
wasn't he the one that came out and he spoke against the Biden administration a few months ago about the immigration thing, and then all these scandals popped up, and he was like, yeah, they're coming after me now because I don't agree with them in this illegal immigration thing. So maybe he's turning. No,
he's not turning. He knows which way it has turned, and he's a politician.
Well, whatever.
So he is maneuvering in a specific way, just like Lindsey Graham, who's a senator that sucks, by the way. Lindsey Graham does the same thing. Lindsey Graham was like, I don't know if the president's going to win with his tone. He needs to tone it down and all this other stuff. President Trump wins. He's like, I knew it all along. The people are fed up. Of course, he's the only one for the job. Da 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 da.
Yeah, this guy just sounds like he's posturing.
God,
because obviously he sees the writing on the wall. obviously, Trump's coming out, swinging, and he's saying he's going to start deporting everybody, and he's hiring all the right people. So, yeah, this guy's, of course, he's jumping on the bandwagon. He's like, or else he is going to be on the bandwagon.
Yeah, well, he's going to do what he's got to do. Because at the end of the day, New York saw a plus 10 to 12 points to the Republican side. It's the closest it's been in 40 years in New York. And so, yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff. Also, everything that President Trump is putting out about policy things he wants to enact, I love every bit of it. This newest one is about vet homelessness. This is worth a listen, and that's exactly what we're going to do. It's 4 minutes long, but you need to hit that like button. You need to hit the share button because the president-elect Trump is speaking. That they got to give me some clarity on how you address that. If you are a former president and then you win a re-election and you're the president-elect, aren't you the president-elect Trump?
Former president-elect.
Don't nobody call them former presidents.
That's too much.
They only did that to Trump. Everybody else, it's President Bush, President Obama, President Clinton. It was only Trump that they're like former President Trump.
No matter what, he's always going to be the president. I mean, because he was there, and that's the highest office in the whole world. So, yeah, he's always going to be President Trump. So.
I think it's president-elect Trump. But either way, play the clip. Here we go.
Under crooked Joe Biden, the U.S. government has spent nearly $1 billion to house illegal aliens and foreign migrants in expensive luxury hotels, courtesy of you, the American taxpayer, and they want to spend billions and billions more. In many states, we're running out of hotel space because the rooms are all booked up with illegal aliens living in a very large way on the American taxpayer's dime. Meanwhile, we have 33,000 veterans in this country who are homeless and living very poorly, I might add, and it's a shame. They're living in filth and squalor on our streets. Nobody is doing a thing for them. We helped them a lot during my 4 years, and it's all been dropped. Everything we did for our veterans has been dropped. It's a disgrace. Joe Biden puts illegal aliens before homeless veterans, and we cannot let this happen any longer. The American veteran is one of our greats. These are great, great people. We have to take care of them. On day one, I will sign an executive order to cut off Joe Biden's massive spigot of funding for shelter and transport of illegal aliens and redirect a portion of those savings, a very large portion, I might add, to provide shelter and treatment for homeless American veterans. I will make it a personal mission to totally eradicate veterans' homelessness in America by the end of next term. You'll see a big difference, just like you did at the VA, just like you did with, frankly, everything we touched. The border was the best border we've ever had. We were energy independent. We were soon going to be energy dominant. Our country was doing great. We had no inflation. We had the best economy in history. We're going to take care of our veterans. If you have served this nation in uniform, the Trump administration will never betray you as Joe Biden and the radical left Democrats have done. They have truly betrayed you. Anybody voting for a Democrat is very foolish, very, very foolish. Stupid. We certainly will not be putting illegal alien lawbreakers up in ultimate luxury while American veterans lay shivering on the sidewalks below. Unlike Biden, our loyalty will not be to illegal aliens who have violated our borders and come into our country illegally. They've trampled our sovereignty. It will be to the brave men and women who enlisted their lives to defend our borders and to protect our sovereignty. Thank you very much. We're going to take care of our veterans.
If you agree with that 100% to protecting our veterans and getting our veterans off the street, I want to see American flags in every chat on every platform right now across the board. I want to see the American flags blow up. Don't let me down, chat. I want the flags to blow up. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Graham, I have a question for you. Because you ran for political office here and none of us did. How is that?
It's terrible.
I know it's terrible, but
it's
how is that? Because they talk a bunch of crap to each other. Biden against Trump, Trump against Biden, all stuff. How does it feel if you were in the same room? I assume that the person that was running against you was attacking you, or maybe you were, I don't know if you were attacking him. I mean, how does it feel when you're in the same room?
Ironically, in my situation, I have gained a lot of respect amongst non-swamp people. So the guy, his name's Russell Fry, who ended up getting the endorsement. Me and Russell are tight. Me and Russell talk all the time. I just talked to Russell the other day. And Russell actually told me that he didn't know. See, here's where I did mess up, and I will be open about this. Where I did mess up was I didn't know that probably what you should do is let at least some people know you're thinking about running. I was just like, kaboom, I'm running, kind of thing. And Russell even told me, he was like, dude, you announced like 2 months before I did, and when I found out you were running, like I didn't know what to do because I love you to death. Like I watch your show every day, like kind of thing, kind of stuff. And anyway, President Trump ended up being, hey, it made a lot of sense at the time. President Trump, South Carolina is the kickoff state to a presidential campaign. President Trump did not want to go to war with the South Carolina GOP on a district that was going to go red no matter who it was. I get it. I do. Hey, this is like war, man. You got to make decisions, and I understand. So for me, it was very easy. Drew McKissick, I hate his freaking guts, and he knows it. I know it. He don't like me. I don't like him. But, dude, if he walked in this room right here, he'd have the crap-eatingest grin on his face, and he wouldn't dare say something to me. And I wouldn't say, you know what, because he knows I hate him, and I know he hates me. It doesn't need to be said, right? Yeah. Lindsey Graham, I'm positive Lindsey Graham knows I ain't a fan. But here's what I think I would be better at now. What I would be better at now is I wasn't prepared. This is where I was naive. I was not prepared for my own party to attack me. I was getting prepared for the insane leftists to come after me because I fight them all the time. I was not prepared for the GOP to come after me. I was not prepared for the GOP to leak pictures of my house and my address. I was not prepared for the GOP to print up these bogus stories that I'm actually a resident of Georgia and I own farmland in Georgia and all this other kind of stuff. Like crazy retarded things is what they were. And it all came from the GOP. It all came from the GOP. Every one of them. Like every hit piece, everything. There was one thing I said. This is how crazy it got. There's one thing I said. I was doing a live feed. These people are watching everything I'm doing. I did a live feed, and I was like, I said, even if that were true, which it's not, but even if it was, what I can't help is the you know me, I get going sometimes. I can't help the geographical location of which all of a sudden I came out of my mom's vagina. I can't help that. And I just said that randomly in a live feed. And the next thing I know, Royce, it's called a vagina, Royce. Like, what do you want me to say? What would you like me to call it?
Not that.
Do you know how babies are born, Royce? Do you know
I do.
how this happens?
Do you like trains?
Like,
Oh my God.
what do you want me to say? What do you like? How? What's the right word? Her no box? What do you want me to say?
No box.
What do you want me to call it?
The baby box.
Better, I
The
guess.
baby box.
The no box is better.
box.
No square.
Okay. Anyway, back to the point. Next thing I know, there's like 18 articles. Like Graham Allen compares his mom to woman's genitalia. And I was like, no, I just acknowledged that my mother had a female genitalia. But that's how crazy it was. And it was the GOP. It was the GOP that was doing all these things. That's what I wasn't prepared for. If I ever did run again for anything, I would be far more prepared this time. And I wouldn't let it bother me that it's my own party that's attacking me there.
I think I just got my answer there, because I think the way I was raised, and Todd, I can pretty much speak for you as well. I think Todd and I are like on the same playing field mentally, that if somebody's talking trash, I'm like, if I'm in the same room with them, I mean, I get it. You're trying to be in a political office or whatever. I would just straight up just I said, what? What did you say?
Todd, are you okay?
I'm reading the chat. I gotta stop.
All right, let's get into our next. Speaking of the no-no box of where babies come from, let's talk about our good friends at Preborn. All right, and ladies and gentlemen, we got to save the babies. We got to save the babies. This wasn't intentional; it just happened. And for those of you who need to know how babies are born, you can go to preborn.com/Graham. Preborn is an amazing organization that is their whole intent on is saving innocent lives. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a known thing that women that are on the fence about whether or not they should keep their baby, the second they see a sonogram of that child, they are more than, I want to say it's like 10x likely to keep that baby. Preborn is not only doing that, they also provide love, support, and counseling for up to 2 years for free for that mother. One ultrasound can save a life, and it's just $28. Or you can do $140, and it helps rescue 5 babies. Abortion doesn't stop, ladies and gentlemen, so we can't either. Together, you and I can save lives. Just call pound 250 on your cell phone and say the keyword baby. That's pound 250. Say the word baby, or go to preborn.com/Graham today. I don't want to see no cheapskates. Go in there and save some children. Go to preborn.com/Graham and save a life today. All right, let's talk about FEMA and how much they suck for a minute. God. Ladies and gentlemen, we talked about it, and PolitiFact came out, and they were like, there's no signs of FEMA doing this, and that. That's another thing I'd like to see Elon and Vivek do. Whatever funding is going to PolitiFact, get rid of it. Delete, as Elon would say. Delete it. Here you go. FEMA official confirms that aid was not being given to people that had Trump signs in their driveway. And this person, this is the person that was fired, right?
Yeah, this is the person who had the text message go out
in Milton. In Milton, and she blows the whole doors off. She's like, it wasn't just Milton. Helene in the Carolinas, same thing. Play it.
Stating that I was fired. They all alleged that these actions were made on my own recognizances and that it was for my own political advances. However, if you look at the record, there is what we call a community trend. And unfortunately, it just so happened that the political hostility that was encountered by my team, and I was on 2 different teams during this deployment, they just so happened to have the Trump campaign signage. FEMA always preaches avoidance first and then de-escalation. So this is not isolated. This is a colossal event of avoidance, not just in the state of Florida, but you will find avoidance in the Carolinas. Senior leadership will lie to you and tell you that they do not know. But if you ask the DSA crew leads and specialists what they are experiencing in the field, they will tell you. Demand for FEMA to give you those incident reports stating that I was fired.
There you go. So she confirms what we said in our documentary that PolitiFact tried to get ahead of, to where we literally had to create a new YouTube channel just to be able to air it because they were going to fact check us. Turns out us conspiracy theorists were right the entire time. If you think FEMA should be defunded and started over again, comment yes or no in the chats below. This is our good friend Anna Paulina Luna here that also just won her re-election bid. I want to go to Anna. Forget the Attorney General right now. I want to get Anna first, then we'll go back. Here's Anna talking about it. Let's hear what she has to say.
I actually personally wrote Criswell a letter demanding answers, as well as Chairman Comer is asking her to come in and testify. I expect a full investigation, and I want to see emails because I don't think that this is just an isolated incident. To put it in perspective, Laura, my district was actually one of the hardest hit districts. We had 13 people die. A majority of my constituents had their claims denied with FEMA. And so I do believe that, as you saw, this was a very weaponized administration, and I do think that they know of more instances, but they're probably covering up for it. So it's our job to get to the bottom of it.
Yep. So now let's go to, I think this is Florida's Attorney General, and let's hear what they have to say about this.
we're not going to leave it up to the federal government to do their own investigation. So this past weekend, Florida has already begun digging into this. We want to make sure that our emergency agency is looking into these details to making sure we have all of the information. We're seeking not only information from FEMA, but making sure if there are those within Florida who feel that they were overlooked or discriminated against because of their political views, that we have an understanding of that and that information. Because look, this is what folks have been saying all along, that this administration wasn't here to serve everyone, only a few. And so as we dig in, I think there's, we're going to find that this, in fact, did happen. We're already seeing it in some of the reports and the databases, and we'll follow up accordingly.
Are you confident that going forward, FEMA will change the course and make sure it wasn't just one employee with this bad intention?
It doesn't matter if I'm confident. What matters is if the people of the United States of America are confident. And more, we're seeing these agencies under Biden and Harris say, there's nothing to see here. There's nothing to see here. Of course that doesn't happen. We're following our mission. And time again, we've seen them off mission, distracted, pushing funds into areas that should never have been envisioned when the agencies were created. And so I think the American people have lost a sense of trust in their institutions. Remember, whether it's DHS, Secret Service, FBI, DOJ, FEMA, these are people's institution. We, the people, gave the government their power. Right. We, the people, fund the government. It's our institutions. Right. And the further and further they get away from telling us the truth, doing their jobs, being accountable to their bosses, which are the people, there is a decimation of trust, and that cannot be in the United States of America, and that's what we're here to drill down on.
FEMA sucks. I will even go even further to say they don't just need to be defunded. There's probably a vast majority of people within FEMA that need to be in jail.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Especially with the devastation we saw in the Carolinas. Yes, Todd.
Can I just add to that? Not just people in FEMA, but if y'all remember when Kamala went on The View, she was asked this particular question. That we are hearing rumors that FEMA is overlooking Republican strongholds or blah, 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 blah. That's what Donald Trump is saying. And she was adamant that Trump's a liar. He's using this for a political gain, blah, 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 blah. You mean to tell me FEMA was doing this and the administration knew nothing about it?
Well, that was her whole campaign. Trump's a liar and Hitler.
Like she should be
that's all they had.
Biden should be put in cuffs, and they should be perp walked in front of all the American people.
Yeah, Todd, to your point, and Graham, we were boots on the ground in Asheville, and I talked to about I think 4 or 5 people, and I asked them all the same thing: have you guys seen anybody from the government here, any FEMA? And they all said no, nothing. And not only that, what really ticks me off with this is that they were not only avoiding people that were Trump supporters, but they were only seeing it in black and white. They weren't seeing the actual people. They weren't seeing the people's lives being destroyed. What I saw was kids' lives being destroyed. I would see people drop off toys and paper and coloring books and crayons, and they weren't seeing any of that. They were just seeing a Trump signage out in their front yard, and they would just avoid it. They weren't actually taken to heart about all the people that were actually being affected by all this. And those people that's just evil. I mean, when it comes down to it, people were suffering, and they just looked at it, oh, these people are Trump supporters, we're not going to help them. It breaks my heart for all the people in the Carolinas and Florida.
Arrest all of them.
Yeah, that just goes to show you, like, they're not members of the human race. Like, look, listen, if you're voted for Kamala, whatever, we disagree on a massive scale. But when it comes to being a human being, I'm still going to do what I can for you because I'm a human being. And no, like I said, they need to be cuffed and perp walked in front of the American people on national television. Every one of them.
Well, no, I agree. All right. So FEMA sucks. If you think they need to be defunded, comment yes or no. But more importantly, I'm interested. Do you guys love what you're seeing so far with the cabinet picks that Donald Trump is sending shockwaves through? Comment yes or no in the chat right now, because now we're going to give you some insider baseball. We're going to talk about the picks that are official. Remember yesterday, I said that if you don't see it from Trump, let's just hold off. The one thing that has not come through yet, and watch it come through like while we're doing the show, Marco Rubio has not been confirmed by President Trump yet. There's a lot of pushback from MAGA, America First people. I'm telling you, and if we go through, and I want to bring this back to the Senate really quick as well, keep putting pressure on the Senate because it's working. I am amazed how far all those things went that I posted yesterday about the Senate. I mean it when I say it. There are people still in the Senate, the GOP side of the Senate, that still haven't quite got the message. You are either with us or you're against us. You either get in line or we will push you out of the line. You either do what we tell you to do or you will not have a job in a little less than 2 years from now. The end. We're done playing. We're done. Oh, well, we need to work together to try to, forget you, screw you. No, you do what we tell you to do or you will be dealt with. The end. And I think that we need to keep pushing that message forward because these people have to confirm every single cabinet appointment that President Trump is putting on. And I read an article today, and we'll talk about Pete in a minute, but GOP senators taken aback by Donald Trump's decision for Pete Hegseth for Secretary of Defense. I'm telling you right now, if you don't vote to confirm him, I will go to every state. I will fundraise against you. I will go everywhere, and I will personally help end every single one of your careers. I don't care. I do not care. Oh, but go get another job. Go do something else because we don't want you. We don't need you. You're pieces of mouth-breathing human garbage, and every one of you need to go. Bye-bye, bye. No. We are not in peacekeeping operation. We're at war, ladies and gentlemen. We won one of the major battles. Now we got more battles to win, and now it's time to root out and yank these cancers from the roots out of D.C. And a lot of them are going to be exposed and are being exposed right now. All right, let's talk about the picks. That has nothing to do with that. You need to hit the like button, hit the share button. Somebody was like, Graham, you're really bossy boss about this like button. Because if I don't remind you, you guys don't hit the like button. I agree with you. I think it's crazy I still have to say it. But every time I don't, the freaking lights are just in the tank. And so anyway, that's how it works. All right. First shocker of yesterday was Mike Huckabee. Mike Huckabee is announced as the U.S. ambassador to Israel. If you love this pick, comment yes or no in the chat right now. Let's read what President Trump had to say about Mike Huckabee real quick. I want to read this. And what's interesting to me about this, well, first let's say, I'm pleased to announce that the highly respected former governor of Arkansas, Mike Huckabee, has been nominated to be the United States ambassador to Israel. Mike has been a great public servant, governor, and leader in faith for many years. He loves Israel and the people of Israel, and likewise, the people of Israel love him. Mike will work tirelessly to bring about peace in the Middle East. That rhymes. Peace in the Middle East. Peace in the Middle East. I love this pick, and this is one of those rare ones. There was no leaks on this. This really came out of nowhere. And I'll tell you how much. I'll give you some insider baseball. I won't say any names or anything like this. I know for a fact that Mike Huckabee was in talks possibly with different networks for his show and all this other stuff. Literally, these people that were in talks with him found out when this email came out that this was going down. And obviously those deals are not going to go through now. I think that a lot of people are going to be shocked by who gets picked for what and when, because I don't think that this thing is as long drawn out. They've been talking about this forever as people like naturally think that it is. I think Mike Huckabee was one of them people. He was planning his life this way, and then he got a freaking phone call. That's what I think. And because I know for a fact he was in talks about taking his show, you know, is he going to stay at TBN? Is he going to go do something else? Is he going to do this, going to do that? I know for a fact that those conversations were going on. And Mike Huckabee's not the guy to, you know, have all those people involved, have lawyers involved, have all this other stuff involved if he knew this was coming down the pipe. You see what I'm saying? So I think that this, go ahead.
I heard the same thing where it was literally last minute, like up into the moment of this being released is when he was asked. I wouldn't be shocked if Trump just called him and was like, "Hey, yes or no? Yes or no,
you
what?
in or you
Just
out.
say yes or no."
And I've told everybody
I'm in.
that.
Done.
I've told
Beep.
everybody
That's
it is not as like formal as people think it is for a lot of people. Some people it really is, hey, president wants you to do this, you in or you out. Which one? We'll figure all the details out later. You in or you out. And that's how it goes. Like I think a lot of people think that it's this super like drawn out. It's not, man. They've got now 60 days to fill 4,973 spots. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty quick stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what happened here. But I think that this was a great choice. I love it. Love Mike Huckabee. This is Sarah Sanders. Let's hear what she has to say about her old dad. We love the Huckabees. The current governor of Arkansas. Mm-hmm. Here she is.
My dad was just nominated as President Trump's ambassador to Israel. I had the chance to go to Israel for the very first time with my dad when I was 11 years old, and it literally changed my life. There's no greater supporter and nobody that has a greater understanding of our two nations' unbreakable bond. And there is probably a little bit of bias, but there's no one who will do a better job in this role. Congratulations, Dad. We're all very proud of you.
Yes.
My dad
Agree
was
completely.
just nominated
Agree
as
completely.
President
I
Trump.
love this pick. I love this pick. Todd just sent something. Let's go ahead and pull that up. Ladies and gentlemen, President Trump has made his triumphant return to Washington, D.C. I believe this is a video of him getting off of Trump Force One. I almost said Air Force One. Not yet. Here we go. This is Donald Trump touching down. Majestic. Got the red tie on. He's ready to go, baby. Looking presidential.
And look, he can walk a flight of steps.
Yeah, he can go downstairs like a normal functioning human being.
The boss is home.
Daddy's back. Daddy's back, baby. I love it. Daddy's back.
Yeah.
If you're proud to see this image, give me an American flag in the chat. I already see it going crazy, but let's get an American flag in the chat. Go, 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 go.
I'm so excited, man. I'm just so excited that he's back at the White House.
Daddy should have never left.
Wait.
Is the problem?
Well, they're probably. I heard somewhere that whenever Whenever Obama took office,
look at the chat. Holy crap!
When Bush took office, that the previous administration took out all the W's on the keyboards. Do you hear? Like, there's a little bit of. I wonder what the Biden are they going to take all the T's on the keyboard or something, or like I don't know. They might do something. I thought that was kind of funny.
If I were Trump, but look at the chat. Holy crap! Look at it go, 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 go! I love it. I love it.
Making me busy.
All right, now up next with the other shocker, but not real shocker, but I'm pretty sure you guys will be pumped about this. Ladies and gentlemen, we had heard rumors about the creation of the Department of Government Efficiency. But we didn't know if it was going to be true until last night. Mm-hmm. And last night it was made official that the Department of Government Efficiency will be created in Trump's new White House and administration, led by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. Ladies and gentlemen, if you love this, keep those flags going. I want to see the flags go crazy for the creation of DOGE in the White House. Statement from President Donald J. Trump. I am pleased to announce that the great Elon Musk, working in conjunction with American patriot Vivek Ramaswamy, will lead the Department of Government Efficiency, and I love how they put DOGE. Together, these two wonderful Americans will pave the way for my administration to dismantle government bureaucracy, slash excess regulations, cut wasteful expenditures, and restructure federal agencies essential to Save America movement. This will send shockwaves through the system and anyone involved in government waste, which is a lot of people, stated Mr. Musk. It will become potentially the Manhattan Project of our time. Republican politicians have dreamed about the objectives of DOGE for a very long time. To drive this kind of drastic change, the Department of Government Efficiency will provide advice and guidance from outside of the government and will partner with the White House and Office of Management and Budget to drive large-scale structural reform and create an entrepreneurial approach to government never before seen. This is a miracle on high, ladies and gentlemen. We know that the government wastes our money. Let's finish this. I look forward to Elon and Vivek making changes to the federal bureaucracy with an eye on efficiency and at the same time making life better for all Americans. Importantly, we will drive out the massive waste and fraud which exists throughout our annual $6.5 trillion of government spending. They will work together to liberate our economy and make the U.S. government accountable to we, the people. Their work will conclude no later than July 4th, 2026. A smaller government with more efficiency and less bureaucracy will be the perfect gift to America on the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. I am confident they will succeed. So, ladies and gentlemen, on the 4th of July in 2026, they are promising that the government will be but a fraction of itself because they are going to cut the fat and remove, as Elon would say, delete. Can we go to the meme real quick? I want to show everybody. This is what they have to look forward to. Everyone in the government, what exactly do you do here? And I can't wait for this to happen. If you are pumped that your tax dollars, you're not going to be taxed out the booty hole constantly for this reckless spending of the government. Give me some more American flags in the chat or a yes. If you are pumped, comment yes or an American flag in the chat. This is what's been needed for so long. And I just think it's amazing.
I know we don't have a lot of details on it yet, but do you think that this department that they're creating is going to be like an oversight for all the spending? Like, let's say, like for instance, right now, there's a huge spending on welfare because people are lazy. They just want to stay home. Are they going to be able to go in there and work with the department?
I think they're going to go. Somebody posted a video where they were talking about the U.S. government spent $90,000 on, I don't know what they were, but it fit in like a little bag like this. And then they showed that you could get the same thing from Home Depot for $100. And I think it's going to be a lot of that. I think that we are going to be excited, but also sick to our stomach.
No, look.
Of how much they have been taking advantage of us, the American people. I think they're going in there with freaking machetes, man.
Good.
I think they're going to take an X effect. I would not be shocked if 60% of the government employees are gone by the time they're done. I would not be shocked. Todd,
Dude,
yes.
I bet they're shooting in the booth.
Just to give you, because I have personal experience of turning in bids before I started doing this, of turning in bids like construction bids to the government. And just an example, my father's company was slated to turn in a bid to change out 2 5-ton furnaces. Okay, these are air conditioners. The average person on the street, it's probably anywhere between $15,000 to $18,000 to install these things. I turned in the bid for $20,000. The dude called me back and was like, you need to redo that bid. And I said, why? Am I the highest? He goes, no, you're at the bottom, like right now. And there was only 2 people. They ended up, the United States government ended up paying a air conditioning company $76,000 to install 2 air conditioning systems.
Yep.
Insanity.
The crazy part about that is that's literally us robbing ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, that's the American people being like, oh, I want some of that tax money. That's your money. That's the people around you's money. That's the money that you complain that you have to pay to the government. So, like, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Royce, that's just money they're printing.
Again,
that money doesn't exist.
Again, get rid of it. Get rid of it. Big government sucks. We want small, efficient government. That's what we want. All right. I want to give the people what they want. I want to talk about the new Secretary of Defense. Yes, Kristi Noem is confirmed as the new Department of Homeland Security Director. But everybody's talking about a good, close personal friend of mine, Pete Hegseth, yesterday was named the Secretary of Defense. If you love this, I want to see American flags in the chat. All right, I want to read this first.
Break the chat.
Break the chat for Pete Hegseth. If you love Pete, show him some love right now. I want to read this first. Royce, I need it where I can read it.
Yep.
There we go. All right, so I am honored to announce that I have nominated Pete Hegseth to serve in my cabinet as the Secretary of Defense, also known as the SecDef. Pete has spent his entire life as a warrior for the troops and for the country. Pete is tough, smart, and a true believer in America first First, with Pete at the helm, America's enemies are on notice. Our military will be great again, and America will never back down. Pete is a graduate of Princeton University and has a graduate degree from Harvard University. He is an Army combat veteran who did tours in Guantanamo Bay, Iraq, and Afghanistan. His actions on the battlefield, he was decorated with 2 Bronze Stars, as well as a Combat Infantryman's Badge. Pete has been a host of Fox News for 8 years, where he's used the platform to fight for our military and veterans. Pete's recent book, War on Warriors, spent 9 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list, including 2 weeks at #1. The book reveals the left-wing betrayal of our warriors and how we must return our military to meritocracy, lethality, accountability, and excellence. Pete also led 2 veteran advocacy organizations leading the fight for our warriors and our great veterans. Nobody fights harder for the troops, and Pete will be a courageous and patriotic champion of our peace through strength policy. I love this. And I want to say, this is the one, it takes a lot to shock me. I had no idea. And again, think about this. Everybody else, we've heard leaks. Elise Stefanik heard leak. Kristi Noem heard a leak. The CIA director, Ratliff, or whatever his name is, we heard a leak about that. We've heard leaks. Kash Patal's probably going to get FBI director. We've heard
Kash
leaks.
Patel.
Patel, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. I think Tulsi Gabbard's going to get VA. That's what I think. I think she's going to get VA. That's what I think. I didn't hear a single word about Pete, which makes me also believe this was one of those other calls. I texted Matt Best from Black Rifle Coffee last night. Matt Best on Monday, which was Veterans Day, was in Nashville, Tennessee with Pete doing an event together where they were at like a town hall talking about veterans. And I wrote Matt, I was like, Pete just got SecDef. And he was like, Hegseth? Question mark. And I was like, yes. And so I wrote Pete. Me and Pete talk constantly. Me and Pete are boys, and I had no clue, which again, I think that this is going to be like more of a common thing. I think you're going to see more picks that are going to be super shocking, but I want to defend Pete for a minute here because there's a lot of left-wing nutbags, just freaking soulless, blood-sucking vampires that are out there talking about, oh, Pete Hegseth and all this other kind of stuff. First of all, I want to show you our upgrade from our current SecDef. Yeah. On the left, you'll see the Darth Vader Chancellor. Yeah, exactly. Freaking LaFleur's left-hand man on the left versus the guy that's got literally "We the People" tattooed on his arm and "Big Government Sucks" on his chest. Okay? But we're not done. Let's go through here. We got some more photos to show you. These people are the ones telling you that Pete Hegseth is not qualified. Let's look at this monstrosity on the right here. That's a man, by the way. Show me the dog head. I need the dog head. I need the dog head now. This person is saying Pete Hegseth is not qualified to be Secretary of Defense. You told me you had the dog head ready,
The
Roy.
fact that you have to say
You had dog head ready?
I literally said I need the guy in the dog mask, and you're like, I got it.
Grab, the fact that you have to say that this is a man, by the way, should tell you everything you need to know about that guy.
That's a man. I need the dude in the dog mask. Just say
By the
dog
way,
mask general.
before it shows
Dog
up,
mask general.
The dude it's a colonel. It's a full bird colonel wearing a freaking dog mask. Total insanity.
Anyway, these are the people telling you that Pete Hegseth is not qualified to be Secretary of Defense.
Is this an admiral? That picture of this person?
I don't know
Yes.
what the hell it is.
Yes, he's like Secretary of the Navy or
trains.
something like that. I don't know. And anyway, hang on, Royce.
That's never going to get old. And just till we get this photo up, there are so many leftist influencers out there saying there are so many qualified people in the Pentagon right now. Let me just explain it to you for the people who have never put on a uniform. A star equals a politician. Okay, once you get up in the stars in military rank, you're a politician. And that's why I love this pick so much. All right, he is a college grad. He served his time. He has a combat infantry badge, and he doesn't have a star.
He's in the chat, Royce.
It's amazing. Huge pick.
Why could I not
Huge
find
pick.
it?
You
Huge.
just
Is it a
do
huge
dog
pic?
mask general, and it's the first thing that pops up in all the
did
images.
that.
Anyway, I mean, it's literally the first thing that pops up. And so, again, I just want to show you where our military currently is at, okay? I want to remind everybody where we are. And here's the thing. You've got all the – look, there we go. That's our military right now. That's a colonel.
Of course it's aviation.
Look,
Of course.
Look, but listen to me, okay? Look, before we get into Pete Hegseth here, I want to talk about this. People don't realize how far we've fallen in the military. Here's the thing. Pete Hegseth is a disruptor. Pete Hegseth is going to go in there and he is going to, they're already talking about creating a team, kind of like we had in the 1940s, that at any time can look at what a high-ranking officer is doing, and if they deem him unfit, he's freaking out of here. Pete Hegseth, I want you to remember this too. Pete Hegseth is walking away from a 7-figure salary at Fox News to make $246,000 a year being the Secretary of Defense. Okay, is another example of Pete Hegseth serving his country. Okay, and here's another thing. Anyone who has served in the past 20 years, especially those that were in OIF, OEF, like Pete was, like I was in, like Todd was in, you know that something is wrong with the military. And just because they had a really cool name like Mag Dog Mattis and all this other kind of stuff, they're freaking loser morons. Every last one of them. We need a soldier's soldier. That's what we need in a thing. And I would argue this. Give me a picture of Pete. I want a picture of Pete while we talk about this. I would argue this. Pete's military service makes him good for this, but I would argue that his time at Fox News has made him even more qualified. And let me explain why and what I mean by this. Okay, Pete is used to, here's what happens. You take these generals who in today's military, it's a woke military agenda, and the only way that you get to the top of the ladder is by playing the political woke mind virus game. So by the time you get high enough in the levels to where you get put in these positions like Secretary of Defense, all you know how to do is politics. All you know how to do is say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, and you just do whatever the crap they tell you to do. Pete has been used to taking on the fire and craziness of the left for the past 8 years while being at Fox. You ask anybody at Fox News who's one of their favorite people, Pete Hegseth is going to be either 1 or 2 on the list. The end. Pete is going to be an amazing person for the Secretary of Defense, the SecDef, because he's going to be able to go in there and be like, you're fired, you suck, get out, bye. I'm going to show you some clips of what I mean by this, and we're going to talk about this even more here in just a second. But I want to show you some clips just in case you guys haven't seen Pete not in front of the Fox News camera. Let's play some clips of Pete and some of his recent interviews lately. This is your new Secretary of Defense. Listen to this. It's beautiful. And tell me he's not the man of the job. Here we go.
The Pentagon is in the book, the exact amount of years, but in the past X number of years, 10, 12, 15, the Pentagon has a perfect record in all of its war games against China. We lose every time inside the Pentagon war games. We know what our real capability. You see, we didn't even get to this part of the war on warriors. I mean, the military-industrial complex, the way we procure weapon systems, we're always, the way our system works, the way our bureaucratic system works, where the speed of weapons procurement works, we're always a decade behind in fighting the last war. Whereas China, we have, what did Rumsfeld say? You go to the war, the army you have. We have the army. China's building an army specifically dedicated to defeating the United States of America. That is their strategic outset. Take hypersonic missiles. So if our whole power projection platform is aircraft carriers and the ability to project power that way strategically around the globe, and yeah, we have a nuclear triad and all of that, but a big part of it. And if 15 hypersonic missiles can take out our 10 aircraft carriers in the first 20 minutes of a conflict, what does that look like?
Yeah.
I mean, and if they've already got us by the balls economically, which you pointed out very well, with our grid, culturally, there's plenty of elite capture going on around the globe. I mean, and then microchips and everything. Why do they want Taiwan? They want to corner the market completely on the technological future. We can't even drive our cars without the stuff we need out of China these days. I mean, they have a full spectrum, long-term view of not just regional but global domination, and we have our heads up our asses.
Yeah.
And
That's your new Secretary of Defense, ladies and gentlemen. And that is what we need. The people that will go in there. There's another clip of him with Ben Shapiro. He's like, first thing you need to do is you need to have a straight up, you gotta freaking sacrifice some hostages, man. You gotta go in there. If your social security number ends in 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, you're fired. I don't care how good you are. I don't care. Sorry, you're gone. Bye. And then you got to take some of the top generals in the nation and get rid of them. Why? Because all these people were the ones in charge during OIF, OEF. They were in charge during the horrific withdrawal in Afghanistan. They've been in charge since all of these people have been laughing in our faces and go to war with our allies, knowing that we're not going to do a dang thing about it. So maybe they need a little crazy America First person to go up in there and be like, you know what? We'll just shoot all of you. I mean, I'm serious. Here's the thing. Everybody's going to talk about, the accolades and all this other kind of stuff. The accolades have gotten us into the situation that we're in. Pete Hegseth is going to remove all DEI bull crap from the military. Pete Hegseth's going to remove all this transgender bull crap out of the military. He's probably going to go back to don't ask, don't tell. I don't know that 100%. But you know what? Here's the thing. You got to ask yourself this question. Are we better off as a military fighting force? What is the job of the military? The number one job of the military is to kill anyone who would dare mess with the United States. Are we a better elite fighting force by everybody knowing what your sexuality preference is? I don't think we are. He also is under fire at CNN because he said, I don't think women should be in combat roles. I completely and utterly agree with that statement. I'm going to tell you why. Are we a more lethal, deadly fighting force? Comment yes or no in the chat what you think about this. With women in combat roles. The argument is unequivocally no. If anything, it adds more strain and more hindrances to be a lethal combat force having women in combat roles. Deploy with a lot of women, as Pete said in the same interview, they're amazing. But there are certain roles that are for men, and that is it since the beginning of time. Yes.
Question. What does it look like when Pete takes over and he gets rid of all the woke generals, all the DEI stuff? What does it look like? Because we've seen those videos of all those people in the military now who are making videos and they're obviously jumping around with their rainbows. What does it look like when they're recruiting and those people walk up to be wanting to join the military? What, I mean, in your point of view, what does it do? Like,
get out.
People? Nope. They're like, nope, you can't join.
No, it needs to be that way. Get out. If you require more effort than you're worth and that you bring to the fighting force, get out.
Yep. And I think
get out.
You do
The job of the military is not to accommodate around you.
Not at all.
Your job is to become a member of the military. Shut your stupid mouth. Go ahead, Todd.
I think the easiest way to I'm going to answer what I think you were asking, Tony. I think the easiest way to get rid of that is right now, TRICARE, which is the military's health insurance, will pay for that surgery, that transgender surgery. The second you axe that is the second that all that recruiting stops. Like all of that, the people stop getting in for that reason. But once you get rid of those influencers that are transgender and making all these clips and you go, and that's why you go back to the don't ask, don't tell policy, because then you're going to have people looking at real commercials, the old school be all you can be commercials going, yeah, I want a piece of that. Yeah, I absolutely want some of that.
So in other words, just cut them off at the knees, and when they're trying to join,
ask yourself who has been fighting, what part of the population has been fighting this country's wars for the last 20 years? It's the red population. And I like my boys. I'm not sending my boys into these uniforms now. I'm not doing it. Like I'm not. Me and Graham would not have survived in the military that is right now. We would have never made it. No, and so never. You've got to accommodate your fighting force, which are all of those red counties. And right now they're not joining because they don't want to have to deal with that trash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
good explanation.
So there are some rumors spreading around right now that Tulsi Gabbard is set to be named Director of National Intelligence. Again, not confirmed by anything. That's just what I'm seeing right now. All right, I want to talk about the thing that's on everybody's mind, and that's Dan Bongino for a minute. Rumors started circulating around the other day that it was down to 2 people for Director of the Secret Service, Dan Bongino and the current head of President Trump's Secret Service detail. Those were the 2 people. Okay, set the internet ablaze, and then this morning, Dan Bongino. Oh no, that's not what he posted. Okay, well, yeah, here you go. This is what I'm talking about. The 2 people that are on the job. Dan Bongino, and then the guy, not the girl in the iconic photo, but the guy to the right. That's Sean Curran. And those are the 2 that they're there. What do you think? You think Dan Bongino is going to be named Director of the Secret Service? Comment yes or no. And while you comment that, Dan Bongino posted this tweet just this morning on my way into the office. And that's the picture he posted. No words, no nothing. Just posted this photograph. I do have some insider baseball because I spoke to Dan this morning. And as soon as I saw that, I literally sent him a copy of the tweet that he posted. And hang on, I'll pull it up here. I don't think he'll. There we go. That's me talking to Dan. I sent him. I said, you just set the internet on fire, and I'm here for it. And I sent him there, and his response was, "LOL" and an American flag. That was the official response from Dan Bongino. Not that I expected him to actually tell me on a text message if he was going to do it. But I don't know. Let's go around the table. What do you guys think? Do you think Dan Bongino has been tapped to be the director of the Secret Service for President Trump? What do we think?
Listening to Dan Bongino for the past couple years, and what I do know about Dan Bongino is he is the epitome of country first. If I will put it like this, if President Trump asked Dan Bongino, the answer is going to be yes.
Why? Yeah. Okay,
the
but
answer will be yes.
Here's the other thing, and I'll say this about Dan. Dan is not a engagement poster. I think that him I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I said, I was literally talking to him this morning, and I know that he's not gonna like give me anything. But the fact that he posts this, like he knows that people know that the final 2 people in the discussion are him and Curran. Why post this unless you're kind of giving the nod that you might be headed out the door to go put the service back on your chest, back to go serve the country again? What do you guys think? Do you think Dan Bongino? I feel like it's a given. He's been offered the job. I feel like that's a given.
If he's been offered it, then he is the new Secret Service
director.
Do
you guys think that Dan Bongino is the Secret Service director under Donald Trump? Comment yes or no in the chat. I want to know what you think.
I'll give you a little insider baseball. He called me. And he said, he said, I want you to take over my show because I want a minority to do it.
The Bongino Report in Telemundo.
Yeah, exactly. In Telemundo. No, but seriously, yeah, I mean, just watching him. I remember watching him when he was testifying against the Secret Service. I mean, he just freaking trashed the Secret Service. And if he feels like President Trump is going to be in danger with the Secret Service detail that he gets, I mean, I don't see how he could turn it down. Obviously, he's got a huge show. I mean, he's the GOAT, got it, but I don't know how you could turn it down. Just like Pete. Pete just gave up that 7-figure salary with Fox to go be the SecDef. So, I mean, is this the same kind of thing happen with Bongino? I mean, why not?
With it being Donald Trump in that type of campaign that it was, and everything that we went through the past 4 years, and the type of presidency that we expect him to have, anybody offered a position, I don't know how you don't take it. Yeah, how could you not want to be a part of this history? And, the kind of honor that you'd get to be, in it, I don't see. But, it's Dan Bongino. I think he's more wise than most, and he might have different plans. But I have no doubt that he's been offered it. Mm-hmm. But I also feel like maybe he's taking time to think about it. I don't know.
And can we think of a world? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. can we think of a world if Dan does take the position? What does that do for all his followers and his show on Rumble? I mean,
well, they can just come to us.
I
think
that there's going to be a lot of there's been multiple reports from very high-profile people that have said, if you think the Pete Hegseth announcement stunned you, you haven't seen anything yet. I think that this is straight up. It is a loyalty campaign. That is it. If you've been loyal to the president and you have fought this fight and you have unwavered, that will be held with higher merit and regard than other stuff. Look, guys, hey, I'll go ahead and say something right now. Charlie Kirk has been in Florida all week doing his show in Palm Beach all week long. Now, is Charlie just helping with the transition team? That's very possible. But if anybody deserves a spot in the administration, it's Charlie Kirk.
Does.
And so I'm just saying, man, you want to talk about setting the world on fire? Let Charlie Kirk be named to the Trump cabinet. That would be something crazy too. And so there's a lot of the hub of the entire world is happening in Florida this week. The end. That I don't think can be understated. And so I don't know, man. I think here's the other thing. There are going to be people getting phone calls. We're entering into uncharted waters in American history. And what I mean by that is you're going to have people, and I said this earlier, you're going to have people that get picked, maybe not in cabinet positions, but upper level senior positions as well, because it's not just who the Secretary of Defense is. It's who's the Deputy Secretary of Defense. Who are the advisors? Who are the people? Pete Hegseth can be awesome all day, but if he don't have NCOs to carry out his vision and his plan, he's got nothing. So I think the conversations that are going to be had with people that aren't cabinet picks are maybe even going to be more vital than the ones that are going to get all the attention. I mean, I really do. I believe that to be so. You can have the greatest director of the CIA all day. If you don't have the right people underneath them, they're not going to get anything done. Yeah. If Tulsi gets director of national intelligence, if she don't have the right people with her, she's not going to be able to get anything done. They got to fill 5,000 in the next 63 days.
That's why we got to get rid of Mitch McConnell and his rhinos.
I volunteer to move to Fort Knox and be the head of USAREC. Absolutely. United States Army Recruiting Command, I'll take it.
Absolutely. Okay. Todd has put it in there. But also what I was getting at here is what's going to take some time, and I need people to understand the weight of some of this stuff. If Dan Bongino, because people need to understand this, all right, as it currently stands right now in the White House, because we're entering into uncharted times where it used to be the most famous person in the White House was the president. Nobody else had social media. Nobody else had any online presence and all this other kind of stuff. It is very possible that you're going to have heads of state and then senior officials within the White House that have millions and millions of followers and reach. There's no precedent for that. There's no ethics for that kind of stuff. There's no anything. As it stands right now, if you take a job in the White House, you can't be anything else. You can't do anything else. So if Dan Bongino takes it, as it stands right now, he would have to give up his show. He would have to. He'd have to hand the reins over to somebody else. He would still own it. He would still make money, but he'd have to give it up. Yes.
No, saying that's me. He called me, remember?
Okay.
Yep.
People are going to give up a lot to honestly pave the way of what will be the futures of American White House administrations. Because all these people that are going to start to be appointed, they're all going to be famous. A lot of them, they're going to be famous.
How exciting, though. Like all the people that he's picking right now. It's like an all-star team he's putting together. It's just, I mean, the influencers and all.
It's disruption. It's disruption. And I think that that's great. And I think that's amazing. That's it for the show, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit the share button. Todd, pray us out. We'll do super questions.
Sweet. Let us bow. Father, we just thank you for a good show. As always, I thank you for the ability and the gift of sharing the screen with these three men. And I thank you for continuing to give us the boldness and the courage to go forth and just spread the messages that need to be spread. Father, we love you. We thank you for everything that you do. And if there is a member out there, if there is somebody out there that can hear my voice, if they do not know you or if they have a need, Father, I just ask that you go to those individuals, you reveal yourself to the ones that do not know you, and you meet the needs of the ones that have those needs. Father, we love you. We thank you for all that you do, and all God's people said.
Amen. All right, let's do super questions.
Let's do it. Do it. Here we go.
Bow.
James Wofford, what is Trump going to do about credit card debt?
I don't know.
What?
I have no idea. I mean, he may do something about credit card interest.
I mean, that's kind of your debt.
Yeah, I don't understand that question because I mean it's the same thing with student loan forgiveness. I mean, it's
kind of your debt.
You chose to go to school. I mean, my girls paid back their loans. I mean, why not everybody else? I mean, I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I mean,
no kidding. I second that.
Boom.
Jacob Yoho. Graham, do me a favor. Will you battle Harry on TikTok? No.
No, I'm not doing TikTok stuff to battle some lesbian acting like a teenager. No.
He likes trains. Pinkish Duck. President Trump should cut off funds for New York and sanctuary states and cities.
I'm pretty sure he's already said that.
That
he's going to do that. Yeah.
Sharal. Yes, when there were people running for Pennsylvania Senate, GOP attacked everyone and promoted this anti-gun doctor. Oh.
Well, yeah, that's my point. That's what I'm trying to say to everybody. So we won a major battle, but the war is not over. We still have infection amongst the ranks. And your state GOPs are no different, man. Like they are a problem across the board.
Yo. Sanctified Warfighter. I go to Arlington every Vets Day for the first time. Both POTUS and VP were at the ceremony. I had the chance to see them speak. Hard pass. I visited my lieutenant buried in Section 52 and said, Semper Fi. I've only got to visit Arlington once, and I really don't want to go back. It's heartbreaking. Scott 441. First time catching alive. Go Ducks. That's for you, Tony, I guess.
Thank you. Yes, go Ducks.
Now you're going to lose in the playoffs.
All right.
You guys are always like roll tide. I'll get a go Ducks any day of the week. Thank you.
I'm talking about the Mighty Ducks. Utah Mish, first off, you guys make my mornings great. Second, wanted to wish my son a happy 16th birthday. He plans to enlist with the Marines when he graduates. Huge patriot, loves Trump and America. That's awesome. Happy birthday, young fella.
Happy birthday, buddy. Yep,
and
happy
good luck
birthday.
in the Marine Corps. Go blow stuff up. Little Mama Lee. So that explains when I was at South Carolina GOP meeting why I got a holy crap. She said his name. Look, when I said your name, Graham. That's pretty cool.
What? So that explains when I was.
They got
at
a
the
holy
SCGOP.
crap. Apparently somebody said
meeting.
your name 3 times and, they were scared you were going to show up.
Well, hold on. So that explains when I was at SCGOP meeting why I got a holy crap. She said his name. Look, when I said your name, Graham, I'm telling you, dude, they hate me. They hate me. And honestly, I would say it's probably because of the same reason that people hate that Pete Hegseth has been named Secretary of Defense. The SCGOP hates me because they know that I will flip them the middle finger in a Christian way. I don't really flip people off. But you know what I'm saying? Like in
a Christian way.
In a Christian way. However Christians flip people off, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But what I'm saying is like they don't like me because they know that I would be a bigger pain in their butt than anything else. And they also know that I would immediately become, and I don't say this to be cocky or arrogant, I say it to be truthful. Again, the world is changing. If I were to run against Lindsey Graham in 2026 for the Senate, he would outraise me 10-1. There's no doubt about that. But I would be on every single major conservative outlet. Every single thing I posted would be viral. Everything, I would bring more attention to the state of South Carolina that has been brought in 30 years. The end. And they hate me because of that. And they know that I would tell, like, Grandma, you really need to do that. Forget you. Shut up. I'm not doing anything that you say. Like nothing. Like the people voted for me. I don't care what you say, and they know that. And so I see more proof to the point. I'm telling you.
You guys ever seen that movie by Eddie Murphy, A Distinguished Gentleman? Where, where he runs on the same name as the dude. Graham could just run on Graham, the name you know, and it doesn't. That's all he has to say. He can win.
No, man, I'm telling you, it's time for a different Graham in South Carolina. That'd be the slogan.
Let's see. From Ratchet. Graham, I've been pushing every senator that their job is in jeopardy if they do not vote the voice of we the people, MAGA AF, or else. I concur.
Or else.
I agree. I was not this way, but I've gotten more and more and more like this. I mean, it's MAGA or nothing. You're either with us or get the crap out of the way. And that's how I feel about it.
Arian Chicky. Can we start a movement to replace all the House and Senate to get people in there to vote on term limits for them? 8 years for all of them. 8? I wouldn't go that long. I'd do like 4. They need to be president, House, Senate every year. That'd be a long ballot, though. Good.
No. I mean, I think 8 years for Congress is good. That's 4 terms. A Senate term is 6 years. I think 2 terms as a senator, like max, like that's it. I think 4 terms max is Congress. Hey, you either become a senator, you go for governor, or you get on an administration across the board. So I think 4 for Congress, and then I think 2 for Senate. Because two terms in the Senate is 12 years. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
And so that's what I would think is because there is a reality that it takes you probably a year to get your feet underneath you, even when you go there. There's no congressman school. There's no senator school. You know what I mean? Like they have orientation. That's a couple weeks. But I mean, there is a little bit of getting your feet out underneath you. I personally don't like that congressman is 2 years. And this is why. Because your first year, you're trying to get your feet underneath you. Like you don't even know how to vote. Like cash, like you don't know how to submit, a policy for vote. Like you don't know how to do any of that stuff. You got to learn. And then after year 1, the next year, you got to fundraise and go through another election process. So, congressmen and women, I give a little bit more of a pass than I do senators. Senators got 6 freaking years, bro. And if they suck after 6 years, get the crap out of there. And so, I think 4 for the House, 2 terms for the Senate. That's what I think.
Game Right, 15. The PC way to say where babies come from should be baby portals. Love y'all's show. Y'all are my main news source. Thanks for all you do. That's a good one, baby portals.
I like the no box better. Yep. That's just me.
No box?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There was a couple of good ones that will not be
start calling
named.
it a vajehu just to mess with Royce.
Perry Redmond Strong was called horrific names by some family and now former friends for voting Trump. Y'all show me daily I wasn't wrong in my morals and faith and standing on them with my vote. Thank you. Like I don't know if y'all know this guy, but he is like in strongman competitions. What ballsy guy is going to say that to your face?
It's
like,
probably a liberal woman.
You could just go and it'd be over, but okay.
Yeah, true.
That's a big dude.
Cindy.
Glad we
love
still
Cindy.
get to listen to you and that Trump won by a landslide. The sky is bluer even a week later.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Amen to that, Cindy.
It does. It just feels good. Just feels good.
It does. Striker J, to all it looks like we will send go for the fundraiser. We'll have it up and running this afternoon after work. We'll share the link in the Facebook group.
They're going to start raising money to make you dance, Tony. That's awesome.
Hey, I'm all for it if it's for the kids, man. If it's for the kids, I'm all for it.
How
I'm
much
not
did they
twerking.
have to
I already
raise?
told you
What
guys,
was
not
the-
twerking though.
What was the number?
10 grand. 10 grand.
They
They
raised-
raised 10 grand for us to give to like Toys for Tots and things like that, or Shop with a Cop or whatever it is. Tony's going to dance the Macarena on live
absolutely.
TV.
Can he wear an outfit too?
Yes, a mariachi outfit. Hat, everything. I want to see it all.
We get this question.
Game Right. Just curious, do you guys like hockey? And if so, what teams? Like them. No, I don't care about hockey. We don't play
Just curious,
hockey
you guys
in
like
Mississippi.
hockey.
Yeah, I don't really care about hockey. No, I don't have anything against it.
Tampa Bay.
I just, I grew up in a place where hockey was non-existent, and
Yeah,
My
my daughter.
the Olympics. Does that count?
Well, my daughter was a dancer for the Greenville Swamp Rabbits here in South Carolina, and I enjoyed it. It was fun, the first few games, but then after that, it was. They're called the Greenville Swamp Rabbits.
That's what needs to be the name for the DC team. Freaking the Swamp Rabbits.
Swamp Rabbits. That's
Yeah. No, I mean,
Swamp Rabbits.
dude, the best part of hockey is when they fight, man. They're just, they just.
Yeah,
boom,
my
all
brother's
them-
really into hockey.
Yep.
Actually, I do kind of want to watch. I want to go to a game. They're right here in Tampa.
They're fun, dude. I mean, they're fun. I mean, again, they're fun the first few games, and then after that, it's just constant, just back and forth, back and forth. So.
Yeah, reticulated chicken mom. I'm excited this time around. First time it was, thank God, it's not Hillary. Trump did good though, but now he knows what to do. Stomp the gas and go. He can't lose. Agreed.
Yeah, Graham's analogy about the congressman and the two-year term thing applies to Trump's presidency. The first year he didn't know. The first 4 years he didn't know nothing. He had to learn everything, and then he was robbed of his second chance. So I agree. This time around, it's going to be so much more. He's going to be so much more effective all around just because he knows what he's doing. He actually has the experience.
Exactly. This time around, he knows what levers to pull. And he knows.
And who not to, talk to.
Correct.
Yo. Ratchet, Dan stated on his show that if he was asked to head the Secret Service, he would step up to the task. That was back after the second assassination attempt. Like I said, if he has asked, it's a done deal.
I mean, again, it kind of, it boils down to those type of things. Like, how do you say no to something like that? You know what I mean? If your country calls on you, how do you not answer the call? I mean, that's all very good questions.
Yeah.
And so, anyway.
Manly tatas. People in government better update their resumes. I agree.
Agree.
Love
Manly
the username
tatas.
too. Love the username too.
Yep.
Same one, Royce.
It's not, but there now.
It was too.
Ted Cruz said right before they went in to vote in the Senate that he will be voting for Rick Scott. I'm telling you, the pressure campaign. The pressure campaign works. It works. It works. Let's see what Lindsey Graham had to say. Let me look here.
While you're looking, Linderin, have y'all heard anything about FEMA trucks being in Michigan or about the deep state not letting Trump come in? Love y'all. Keep up the great work. Not Michigan, but Trump's in D.C. now, so don't think that's going to happen.
In Michigan? Why would FEMA be in Michigan?
I don't know. Angela Durham, if Bongino takes the job, then Dear America will be the #1 podcast, as I have already said.
We'll see. We'll see. We shall see.
Coffee. Who or what can police internet companies that are taking money from people's account without their permission?
I don't know what you mean.
No idea.
Police.
I have no idea.
Internet companies.
Yeah, somebody's charging you. I
what
would
did he
call
say?
the internet company.
Who,
Who or what can police internet companies that are taking money from people's accounts without their permission?
Well, you can call your bank or your credit card company if you
and
think
stop
that they're
payment.
doing something, and tell them you can dispute it, and then the credit card company, because they represent you, they can investigate for you and they can get your money back if they're actually doing something illegal.
True statement. NZAB, are you guys excited about the Kristi Noem pick? I'm a little on the fence about it, as I'm not sure about her quals there. Seems to be a solid, except for trans hiccup she had.
She didn't have a trans. This is the type of stuff that irritates me.
Calm down.
She didn't have a trans hiccup.
Sun's getting real low.
She sent the bill back because there was additional wording in the bill that she didn't like. That's it. She signed the bill. The bill was signed, not the initial bill the way it was. Just because she sent it back and said, "Hey, write this different or reword this a little differently," that's not her not signing the bill to protect women's sports. That's not what that is. And so that's the only thing I don't like is anytime somebody who's a MAGA person sends something back initially, like, "Hey, rewrite." That's not them being anti-women or being pro-trans. That's them like, "Hey, clause 7 Appendix A or whatever it is, like rewrite that something's wrong there. I don't like the way that's worded. She signed the bill. So that's false info. That's not real. Next.
Make it make sense. Don't just talk, but walk the walk. We need real people who fight for the people. Graham for Senate.
I'm telling look, here's what I would tell you. One, that's a decision that wouldn't be made for, 6 to 8 months. It would be such a bloodbath. It would be such a bloodbath. It would be one of those things that I either win it or I'm done forever, like kind of thing. Like, and I don't mean like I would quit. I mean like they would destroy me. It's either I beat them or they beat me. The end.
I'm with you, brother. Let's go. Let's go.
It would be one of
Let's
those.
go destroy them.
Be one of those kind of things. All right, next.
Yo, chaotic. Need a better go Ducks. Duck fans aren't loud enough. Lick 'em.
Lick 'em.
Go Ducks.
Hey man, you can only say that for about 60 more days, and then it's over. Lick 'em.
I know, right? We got to get them all out. Redneck Vet Girl, are we having the Dear America victory party, Graham?
I don't know. Are we?
I mean, we had a victory
I kinda
party here
thought
the
we
other
had
night.
it election night.
Yeah, I mean, we all hung out together the other
Till
day.
We were
5
live for
a.m.
7 hours. What more do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Where were you, redneck vet girl?
I
We
mean,
had a party here without you.
Now, if you want me to like get a place here and you guys fly out and come hang out, sure. But I mean, I'm not paying for everybody to come out here and hang out. Like, I love y'all, but no. You know how many people were watching this show today? Like no.
Elon money right there. See Mules need to donate to Tony's Dance Fund and all $2 bills.
Yeah.
Yes, I like it.
Donate however you like. It's all for the
Can
kids.
you imagine
so
if
please.
we had 10,000 donations and they were all $1?
Wow.
That would be the most ultimate, like, yes ever. Like, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I'll take it. We'll take it any way we can for the kids.
Let's see. Cat loves Trump for America. Can y'all pray for my daughter? She's been very, very confused about her seizure and is taking longer to recover. Even when she was in the hospital, I still found a way to vote for Trump 30 minutes before closing. Absolutely.
Wow.
Sure. Definitely prayers for your daughter. Sarah Cunningham, please pray for my dad, Pastor Eric Madsen. He needs a lung transplant and he's get on the list. Right now, he's going through all the tests to see if he can even get on the list. Pray. For sure, Sarah.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
AMC Cormick, can y'all pray for my lumpectomy this afternoon? Absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely.
A lot of prayers
A
today.
lot of prayers for all of y'all
Yeah.
right now. GGC3PO. Next News Network posted about the FEMA trucks in Michigan. FEMA is preparing for when the election is not certified. Yeah, they don't want that smoke. They really don't. American Mermaid, what advice would you give someone wanting to start a new business but knows nothing about running a business that you wish someone would have told you? Go Ducks.
Go Ducks. Man, a lot of go Ducks today.
Shut up.
Learning contracts is huge. And don't skip on money on a lawyer to look over things initially for especially for your first few contracts, whatever it's going to be. I got took to the cleaners a lot in my early days until I figured it out the hard way. And everything else, there's no way to do it except to do it and learn along the way. But the contract thing, don't skip on money for a lawyer to look over your first couple contracts till you know initial things to look for.
Emerald Coast, what do you think about Convention of States movement?
I mean, I think that it's awesome given the right things, but right now, what's the purpose for it right this second? We just took the House, the Senate, the presidency, and the popular vote. Let's see what we can do with the mandate we just gave President Trump. That's what I think.
Wow.
That's like a common thing that you get asked on the campaign trail right now. Would you support a convention of the states? Of course I would support it because a convention of the states would be a majority of the states wanting to convene to like make, duh. All right,
That's
move
like
on.
the ultimate, Redneck Vet Girl, you said early on that if Trump won, you were going to arrange a place for us all to come and celebrate together, not pay for everyone to come. There you go.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, maybe so. But I think that will happen probably more around the first of the year after Inauguration Day or things like that. That would be more the victory in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with
is
that.
once that happens. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
we gotta
look
keep
into
them
that.
alive.
Sure.
Good idea.
What we need to do, and maybe we can get the crew on this, Todd or Tony, we need to create an Eventbrite page for a Dear America party where people can put if they're going to come or not. And we can share the link here on the show.
Good idea.
And because I'm not doing a party for 50 people, I'm not doing it. If 1,000 of you want to show up, then we might, we might be in business there at that point.
That would be sick. We can get some music out there.
So what we'll do is Todd or Tony
I'm writing it down
to get an Eventbrite page set up, and we will pick a date, and we will send it out amongst you guys, and let us know if you're going to come to it or not, and then that'll decide. I'm telling you right now, though, so there's no confusion. If we put this out there and we don't get at least 500 people, it's not happening. I'm not doing it. 500 people or bust have to agree to come to the party, or I'm not doing it.
Realistically, only half of those will probably show up,
Okay, then
Or
fine. 1,000
75%.
people got to RSVP then.
Let's see it in the
1,000
chat.
people.
Who wants to come to a party? Who wants to have a party?
ain't counting
Let's see it in there.
1,000.
Bam, bam, bam.
Where will it happen? It'll happen in South Carolina. So if you guys want to come to South Carolina, I'll rent the convention center out if enough of you say you want to show up. But again, that's the
get speakers out there.
That's the only way to do it, though. We're going to have to put an Eventbrite out there, and you guys are going to have to let it. I'm not paying for you to fly out here. I'm not. So, enough of you got to say that you'd come party at a Dear America party, and then we do it. Sure, absolutely. And I'm sure that we could get some people to come out here and speak
party
as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Make it a whole event. Yeah. Alrighty,
Clemson might host me. Doubt it. Yeah, that's it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to hit the like button, hit the share button. That's all we've got for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Yesterday was wild. Let's see what happens today. I'm sure we're going to get some good clips of Trump and Biden later on in the afternoon, and we'll see what happens with this Senate vote. They are literally voting as we speak. Tony, say goodbye.
Hasta mañana, everybody.
Royce.
Goodbye, everybody. See you tomorrow.
And Todd.
See you at 2. Love you, miss you, mean it.
Absolutely. In the hot seat, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure to tune in. As always, I'm Graham Allen. Stay awake, not woke. Trust in God, not the government. And as always, stay free.